The thing I would say is, when you grow up, you tend to get told that the world is the way it is, and your life is just to live your life inside the world, try not to bash into the walls too much, try to have a nice family life, have fun, save a little money. But life, that's a very limited life. Life can be much broader once you discover one simple fact, and that is everything around you that you call life was made up by people that were no smarter than you. And you can change it, you can influence it, you can build your own things that other people can use. And the minute that you understand that you can poke life and actually something will, if you push in, something will pop out the other side, that you can change it, you can mold it. That's maybe the most important thing, is to shake off this erroneous notion that life is there and you're just going to live in it, versus embrace it, change it, improve it, make your mark upon it. I think that's very important. And however you learn that, once you learn it, you'll want to change life and make it better, because it's kind of messed up in a lot of ways. Once you learn that, you'll never be the same again. People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, and you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up, being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it, you got to have passion.
There are American heroes who don't like this idea. Neil Armstrong, Gene Cernan have both testified against commercial spaceflight in the way that you're developing it, and I wonder what you think of that.
I was very sad to see that, because those guys are, those guys are heroes of mine, so it's really tough. I wish they would come and visit and see the hardware that we're doing here, and I think that would change their mind.
They inspired you to do this, didn't they?
Yes.
And to see them casting stones in your direction.
It's difficult.
Did you expect them to cheer you on?
Certainly hoping they would.
What are you trying to prove to them?
What I'm trying to do is to make a significant difference in spaceflight and help make spaceflight accessible to almost anyone.
One of the most difficult choices I've ever faced in life was in 2008, I think I had maybe $30 million left, or $30 or $40 million left in 2008. I had two choices. I could put it all into one company, and then the other company would definitely die, or split it between the two companies. But if I split it between the two companies, then both might die. When you put your blood, sweat, and tears into creating something, or building something, it's like a child. And so it's like, which one am I going to let one starve to death? I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I split the money between the two. Fortunately, thank goodness, they both came through.
What was your biggest failure, and how did it change you?
Well, there's a ton of failures along the way, that's for sure. As I said, for SpaceX, the first 3 launches failed. And we actually were just barely able to scrape together enough parts and money to do the 4th launch. If that 4th launch had failed, we would have been dead. So multiple failures along the way. I tried very hard to get the right expertise in for SpaceX. I tried hard to find a great chief engineer for the rocket, but the good chief engineers wouldn't join, and the bad ones, well, there was no point in hiring them. So I ended up being chief engineer of the rocket. So if I could have found somebody better, then we would have maybe had less than 3 failures.
That third failure in a row, did you think, I need to pack this in?
Never.
Why not?
I don't ever give up.
I did not have a rich father, not from, well-educated. I said I tried 3 times for university, all failed. For the last time, I went to the teachers' college, which was considered the 3rd or 4th class of my city. I applied for Harvard for 10 times, all failed. They don't even want to see me, terrible. So I applied jobs for 30 times, got rejected. I went for a police, they said, no, you're not good. I went to even the KFC. When KFC came to China, come to my city, 24 people went for the job. 23 people were accepted. I was the only one guy. And we went for police. 5 people, 4 of them accepted. I was the only guy that I received it. People like me, I was born in a very poor family. I never got a great education. I realized I don't have money, I don't have technology, I don't have a lot of good backgrounds. We have a rich uncle or something. It was so difficult at that time. I was so frustrated because I taught in the university. My pay was $10 a month. It was not easy, but I believe that something is waiting for me there. And I have to work hard to prove myself. So that was the tough experience. And I never thought I was smart. Honestly, people say you're smart, you have a big vision. 1994, since you saw the internet, that was not true. I just want to find a job because I could not find a good job, so I do myself. Nobody believed that I could be successful because everybody say, well, this guy think differently, think crazily. They think about something never work. We talked to over 30 or 40 venture capitalists. Everybody said, no, forget it. So we gathered $50,000 from 18 founders. We started. A lot of people said Alibaba is a terrible model. There's a problem here and there. The founder is terrible. Yes, that's right. I'm a 100% made in China. I learned my English by myself, and I tried to teach myself how to programming on computer. I still don't know how it works, but that is not important. I think this thing could be big, but I never thought it would be that big like today. The only thing I tell you guys, for the first 3 years, we did not have even $1 revenue from our business. I just feel that I'm enthusiastic about what we are doing. At the beginning, for the first 5 years, I just want to survive. But later, I think, wow, so many people's life changed. I was so excited, for the first 3 years, we made 0 revenue. 0 revenue. But we are so excited to continue to work. You know what happened? I remember many times when I go to a restaurant and have dinner, somebody came, when I was trying to pay the bill, the owner of the restaurant came to say, sir, your bill is paid by someone. And a small note say, hey, Mr. Ma, I'm your customer of Alibaba Group. I made a lot of money and I know you don't make any money. I pay the bill for you.